Waiting. There we go. The news and views expressed herein are the sole property of Kenosha Today. Certain portions of this program may be unsuitable for children, sensitive adults, small animals, and the general public. Viewer discretion is advised. What do you think, Uncle Scottie? Are we ready to go?
Let's hit it. Rock and roll.
All right.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Uncle Scottie Barter, and welcome, along with my personal caregiver, Elmo the Insane Schneider. We are your wartime TV hosts, and we welcome you to the April 1st edition of the all-new Kenosha Today. It used to be called the Daily Update, but we're going to have a modification in our upcoming schedules, but we'll get to that in a minute. And General Elmo, I want to thank you for your leadership. So they all, when Trump has a press conference, thank you for your leadership. Again, we are coming to live and local this afternoon from the Barter Manor studio, which we're going to be calling home for at least till April 24th. And I guess it's going to be until the end of the month. Apparently, we have been considered essential people as declared by non-essential people, and we are here. Well, let's talk about that now. We've been coming here for at least the last couple of weeks at 2 p.m., but because of some conflicting schedules that you can make money and I can make money.
Yep.
This is becoming a job that we ain't making any money. So
Not yet, at least.
we will be here Saturday morning in our normal 10 o'clock, and then at least for the next couple of weeks, just on Wednesday. So check your local listings on Facebook. We're not sure if it's going to stay at 2 p.m. We might, or move it to 4. I'm not sure, but at any rate.
Well, and if you miss it, you can always watch the replay anytime you want, and they're on YouTube.
You know, there was I had some texts for some people that were in Illinois, and they had said the thing was freezing up. Now, is that freezing up? No, this is still going.
Yep.
All right, and you know, the internet is overloaded. I mean, that was never intended
Too
for
many
this
people
much.
working at home.
Yeah.
Well, the residential infrastructure is not there to handle what's going on.
So we were able to, for our people in the Wisconsin area, in northern Illinois, they were able to get it. So at any rate, you can just go back and stream or go back and hit the replay. But anyway, we are streaming live across now the sun just popped out here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a glorious day out there.
45 degrees here in the Kenosha Today Nation. And we are brought to you this afternoon by our major sponsors, Barter's Financial Planning Services and Union Park Tavern, along with a host of other very fine local businesses. And one of the items I think we've got figured out, every so often we have a little blur, but that's normal. Our phone number, as you can see on the screen, 262-597-3020. And again, Elmo and I continue to stay committed to the Kenosha area.
We should be committed.
I knew that was going to come up. Look at the phones light up now, huh?
Yeah.
And bring you a true meaning of the term live and local. Bring you the most up-to-date news, weather, sports, and entertainment. And usually we stay here for at least 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more.
Depends on what's going on. It's been kind of boring lately.
I mean, we're going to get into some topics that are, if that's all you want to hear is the coronavirus, well, maybe we're going to get to that in some of these things that we have our own twist on how some of this is going to play out. But again, you can simply go to YouTube or the Kenosha Today website, right? KenoshaToday.com. Go at it. And of course, everybody can now sign up. And the thousands of our fans who have joined the Kenosha Today Nation like this on Facebook. It is, like I said, 45 degrees here. Stock market's taking another plundering. It was down 800 points just a few minutes ago. And Elmo, Wartime Wednesday starts right now. And let's get in, this is the doom and gloom, but we're going to contrast this to, the county raised the viruses to 56, 56 in Kenosha. And I don't know that we've had one death here in
No.
Kenosha County, no?
No. That's why I have to heard a clarification on I told them there was the one infant that died.
Yeah.
Well, I heard later that coronavirus was the least of that kid's problems. He had everything, he had every birth defect in the world. So, it tested positive. So that's one of the problems they have is people die of something else, but if they're test positive for this thing, then they're going to attribute it to that. So the numbers probably should be much lower than what they're
this
saying.
gal, Jen Freiheit, who's I guess she's a doctor. She's the county division health director, has now become a household name. I never even knew we had a director or a department like that. But anyway, today, Elmo, this was yesterday, was an intense day.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And she noted 2/3 of the positive cases did not present with a cough, and just over half had fever. So, they're talking about 490, 500 people. Only 225 are testing positive, and only 5 people have gone to the hospital. And as we get into it, this virus is now ranked 3rd, right behind heart disease and cancer. So, yeah, we're going to lose.
Well, actually, for diseases, there's more people killed in car accidents and stuff like that. Suicide, murder. You got all kinds of stuff going on.
And statewide, number of confirmed cases up to 1,351, up 130 from the previous day, 16 deaths. And, I'm not so sure if we were to do autopsies, and I don't think they're doing autopsies on most of these people.
No.
So they're just making an assumption that the virus killed them. And, most of these people, I think, 90% are over 55 or 60, right? They're all elderly people, so that are passing away.
Yeah, 70% are, I think the median age is 81.
Right. Not to diminish that, but, we don't want anyone to die, but, when God says your number's coming up, you're going. One of the big things that we were talking about before we came here on the air is the Hobby Lobby was closed down because they weren't considered, they weren't deemed essential. And, there's not a hobby shop that's on the 29 deemed essential businesses. And what do you think, Elmo? The police had to go out there. They didn't give them a citation, but they closed them. But what do you think? It said they were turned in by a tip. What do you think?
Right. Well, it's like I said, they're a very Christian-based company, so it's probably some heathen that turned them in because they didn't like them. So.
Well, that's the way it is. But so they graciously shut down, and now they will be able for unemployment, and that's a shame. But at any rate, officers filed their reports. They didn't give them a citation, which they shouldn't have, and they were very courteous to them, and they knew, so they locked the doors and put a sign up, and away they went. Election Day is coming up, as we know, which is next Tuesday, and they're all going to Kenosha News. I don't know what they think they're going to do. It's too late to change it now. But they
changed Ohio like 2 days before.
Yeah, they had all the time prior to this. They knew this was coming up 4 weeks ago, and they did everything, in my view, that they could by issuing absentee ballots. Obviously, voting by email is going to be.
No, you can't do that. It's illegal.
That's right.
Yeah.
But that was the suggestion.
You want the Russians voting in your election there? Okay.
Commodore. So, this is the way it is. Quit bitching about it and let's move on. And most of the places are saying they don't have enough poll workers.
Yeah. If you can go to the grocery store, you can go vote. It's probably about as much risk of doing that. Yeah.
And, they cut it down to 10 locations. They were in the paper. I got them. I'm not going to bore you. But what I didn't understand is one is the Civil War Museum, and the other one is the regular museum. They're like 100 feet apart. Why didn't they?
Well, if you have people coming from other parts of the city to go vote there, they can pick. It's just they need so many to be able to handle the people coming in. Plus, you have city employees that work right there, so that's
true. You've got out of the 1,320 municipalities in the state of Wisconsin, 111 have reported they don't have enough poll workers. All right, so you pull it down to 10 in Kenosha. How many we normally would have? We've got.
Oh boy, I don't know.
I think there's 2 wards to each one, 17, 30. There's about
30,
35 or normally.
Yeah, well, I know since I didn't vote my mail in, but in my old district, both wards voted at the same place.
Right. Well, that's what I couldn't understand when I was actually voting at this little church on North 22nd Avenue. I knew I was in Ward 22, but I didn't realize Ward 21, and we're all in the same place. I didn't quite grasp that. If anybody wants to chime in, 262-597-3020. But anyway.
Why do we even still have wards?
I didn't understand that. I know that was big in Chicago.
Chicago, sure.
The ward chairman was
ward bosses.
The ward bosses, yeah. There was this.
You want a lid for your garbage can? You better vote for this guy.
This guy was doing karaoke in the boathouse on Wednesday nights. This was had to be at least 18 years ago, and he was running for alderman. He'd come in with a nice suit and all of the fixings and drive a Mercedes. The job down there paid about $60,000.
Yeah.
And I said, how'd you get involved in politics? He was a ward chairman
Yeah,
before he got here. So,
Something in my eye.
The county fire departments and ambulances are changing their protocol. This is what's really kind of frightening, is you take these first responders, and they showed pictures of out in New York, or some numbers, I should say, the firemen and the people that are out with this virus. And New York is probably going to be hit the hardest. They should be locked down. And now today, Governor Cuomo closed up all the playgrounds. He said, these young kids aren't listening to me. That's what he said. And so I'm going to show them. Well, I don't think a kid under 13 has gotten this virus yet. It's all older people.
Well, not even that. Don't even understand what's going on here. Why can't I, you got a 6-year-old kid, Mommy, I want to go play in the swings. You can't.
Yeah.
Why not? Because the governor said so. Who's the governor?
Yeah.
What's a governor?
Yeah. So anyway, these first responders are doing things a little bit different instead of, and it's been reported here, because of this, the relatively few 911 calls for medical emergencies, which, you think that, I guess if you call 911 and you tell them you got the symptoms, they can give you the ride in the ambulance, right? To get tested?
Well, a lot of it is, too, people don't want to go to the hospital because they're full of sick people. I couldn't believe it for a while back then. I would listen to the police and fire calls. You could get an app on your phone and do that there.
Sure.
You could not believe the people that would call 911 for the most minor little thing to get transported down to the emergency room.
Well,
this one, I can remember this woman called, and she lived about 3 blocks from the hospital because they put the address on there. She called because she had a toothache.
Yeah.
An ambulance to come get her and they had to go. She put in the call. They had to go get her. She could have walked to the hospital from her house. And not even why. You know what a dentist is? They don't know what they're going to treat a toothache at the hospital.
My favorite. This actually happened to me when I just moved into my condo. I get home in the afternoon, and I had a client that was on the East Coast with an area code of 911.
Oh,
so
God.
I have my phone, it was before this deal, and I dialed 911, realized I screwed it up. So I hung up, called him, we took care of business. I'm down in the pool, and my neighbor comes down and he says, "Are you okay?" I said, "Why?" He says, "There's 3 squads sitting out in your driveway, and by code, they have to come up and..."
That's right.
I said, "Well, as long as you guys are coming up here, grab a rag and do some dusting." But that's I guess that's the law, that's the ordinance. The Trumpster, President Trump, has changed his tact on the virus, and he's calling on, but this is what I'm talking about, doom and gloom, that we might lose.
All they do is they always give the worst case scenario. That's it. It has nothing, and again, they don't put it in any context. These
General.
I heard somebody said, "You've got the overall death rate in the country. This is not even going to change it.
Right.
It's still the same amount of people are going to die. They're just dying of something else."
In 2017, 647,000 people died from a heart attack. Another 600,000 died from cancer. So this virus is only the 3rd leading cause, and that hasn't been proven.
Now we're going to have 10 million people die of boredom.
After watching this nonsense. But I mean, that's doom and gloom. Why don't we present all of the positive things and all the positive people that are going away? They're going to walk away from this thing. So And then I was listening to Andrew Cuomo's, he's the governor of New York, talking about all the doom and gloom, and then he takes on off his brother, Chris Cuomo does a CNN, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's
Fredo.
Fredo, what a brave guy he was. He did his show at 9 o'clock from his basement. He's not talking to his parents. And then he said something, what a stupid, to get it anyway. Should have never come in contact with anybody to begin with. But, that's doom and gloom. Now, just before we came on the air, this story about Bill Gates calls for a nationwide shutdown.
What does he care? He's got billions of dollars.
Exactly. He says
He doesn't have to work.
the country needs to shut down for 2 more weeks until the numbers start to go down.
What do you need, your official Bill Gates papers to get?
Yeah, that's what I first thought.
Show me your papers.
He's got enough money. He could
doesn't care, yeah.
finance all this stuff.
He's come up with some crackpot ideas over the years. This is one of them.
And then going back to the Trumpster, the U.S. extends its guidelines to the end of April. So I think I got inclined to believe that Governor Evers will extend it from the 24th another 10 days.
We'll see.
Till there. But you know what? If Wisconsin has so-called hit the peak or whatever they call it, open the place up for business again.
Mm-hmm. Gonna have to. They say the cure is worse than the disease in this case. Everybody's going to be out of jobs. It's going to be just a disaster.
Here's a guy, 93 years old, from India. He's the oldest one to actually survive this virus infection. 93, and he beats it. Look at the ponytail he's got. He probably plays in a band. Anyway, his wife is 88 years old, and they both recovered after testing positive about 4 weeks ago, and they were just in discharge a couple days ago. Now you've got this problem, and I think it's off the coast of Miami. He's got these 2 cruise boats that are trying to dock, and the governor's floor said, no, you ain't coming here. And yet you've got the other side where you've got some Americans, of 50 apparently, are residents of Miami and haven't tested positive. Maybe you quarantine them, get them off the boat, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You got to do something. Make a decision. And China, apparently, the outbreak in China, according to U.S. intelligence,
Those worthless commies.
wasn't as bad as they portrayed this to be, but
yeah, it was. It was much worse.
Oh, it was much worse. Okay.
And they said, if they would have put the alert out as much as 2 weeks prior to that, the world infection rate would be 95% less.
Well,
But because they're commies and they can't make it look like they ever screw up at all, they kept this under wraps.
I like that. That's good. Well, wasn't he the guy? Wasn't one dumb chump the guy that was? That's North Korea.
Yep.
That was the guy that if you got the virus, he
But
took him out the back and shot him.
True. China's still saying 3,400 people died there, but by the anecdotal evidence of the number of urns they're going through there, it's probably between 40 and 50,000. In just the Wuhan area itself.
Yeah, you're right. It says the death is intentionally incomplete. And you think they did that?
And what does the stupid media do in this country? United States now leads in, in coronavirus deaths. Well, no, it doesn't, because you're not getting good information from any of these other.
I think we'll take a break for a couple minutes now. We'll come back, do the weather, and wrap this up for our Wednesday wartime edition.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, Spider says they're sounding good.
Yep.
Once again, a very good afternoon.
Hold on.
I don't know. We here?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
good. Let's kill the music here. All right.
Once again, a very good afternoon to everybody. This is Uncle Scottie Barter, along with my personal caregiver, Elmo the Insane Schneider, and we welcome you to our Kenosha Today Daily Update, which we are streaming live. And we were going to go every afternoon, but he's got I'm pushing some deadlines for April 15th, so this was never meant to be a full-time occupation.
No, yep.
And so we're going to be here Saturday with our
24th anniversary show.
I think Spider's going to join us. I wonder if I have to write him a note to get out of the house.
Yeah. He's going to have to sit over there. We have to have social distancing here.
Well, sit on my lap. Anyway, it is 19 minutes after 2 here in the Kenosha Today Nation, bringing you the best or best we can in news, weather, sports, and entertainment. Again, we want to invite you to join the thousands of our friends and fans who have joined us and liked us on Facebook. We are brought to you by our major sponsors, Barter's Financial Planning Services, the Union Park Tavern, along with a host of other very fine local businesses. We invite you to give us a call. You see our phone number there, 262-597-3020. And the weather is, the sun just popped out here about a few minutes ago, and it's 46 degrees. We came up a degree there, Elmo.
Wow.
And tomorrow it's going to get up to 48 with a high, no precipitation. And Friday up to 54. And then things get a little dicey Friday night and into Saturday with some rain, but still 48 degrees. And so
April showers.
Anyway, today's Kenosha Today weather is sponsored by Capo Web Design, which is a locally owned web design and development business here in Kenosha, specializing in website design, development, maintenance, site services, and support, who actually designed and is currently developing our site, KenoshaToday.com. And from them, there you have it, folks, directly from the Kenosha Today Weather Deck. Here at Barter Manor, the most up-to-date and the most complete weather report anywhere on the planet. And so tune in to Kenosha Today for all your weather information, or when severe weather strikes out like this. Then in that case, you're on your own because we don't care.
You copy that from somebody?
Yeah. You think? Jeez. Every weather station I watch, whether it's on the tube or whether it's on radio, they all have they do the same thing. So I thought, well, might as well fall in and maybe I should come up with something better.
Something original here.
Yeah, right. Some of the things that, because of the virus and people are financial problems, how does it work if you skip your mortgage payment? And you really should call your lender.
Yeah, you got to talk to them. You just can't skip it.
You just can't skip it. You have to talk to them, and there's probably a form that you have to fill out. In fact, I know there's a form, right, Elmo, generally, where you have to fill out and explain your hardship, and they may postpone it for maybe up to 6 months, but it's not a forgiveness. You will have to make it up at some point in time, whether you sell the house before the loan is due.
The interest ticker keeps running.
Right. So it's not a forgiveness, but if you don't have whatever your mortgage payment is.
Yeah, they're going to send Snidely Whiplash over to your house
and you
tie your daughter to the railroad tracks.
You can still do this if you have a landlord, because according to the Trumpster, under his plan, they cannot evict anybody. And so if you have problems, let's say your rent is $800 or $1,000, talk to your landlord, whoever owns the building or whatever, and see if they'll give you some.
That all sounds nice and good, but most of those landlords, have loans in the property. Then what's going to happen? Their cash flow gets cut, then it gets cut to the bank, and
It's a domino effect.
Gotta
I get that.
Go back to work.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Let's get back to work. It wasn't so bad sitting here. In my case, being a tax accountant, because I'm going to be working.
You work out of your house anyway, right?
And I have for 14 years.
Yeah, most of my stuff I'm working out of my house, so that really hasn't done anything for me.
I'm not going out even if the weather's nice. I still got a long way to go for the next 2 weeks to April 15th with extensions and what have you. But so it's not a big thing to me. But once we get through that, or I get through that, and the weather gets nice, then my attention turns to the golf course. And our buddy Tony the Tiger better open these up out there.
Yeah.
He's got all the golf courses closed, and we don't want to have another natural disaster. In fact, speaking of Tony the Tiger, our fearless governor, he announced that because of the virus, he's requesting federal disaster declaration. And to be serious, if the president declares Wisconsin or any other, generally they do this when they have like a Nashville, when they have a tornado
Or flood.
because you will get federal funds, and if you have to have something where you're withdrawing on your pensions, you can avoid a bunch of penalties. And after I read that, Elmo, you're going to love this. When he asked the president to declare Wisconsin a disaster, he's suggesting his office be included. Right?
Well, the show should definitely be included. Everything's a disaster. This is. So.
Maybe we're entitled for FEMA funds.
Yeah.
You know what they'll do? They'll probably drop 1 million masks off. And we talked about that yesterday. If they make everybody wear a mask, hey, where do we get them? And
Well, I was waiting to see what happened in Zion yesterday.
no.
2 guys robbed McDonald's down there wearing masks. I just knew it was a matter of time before they're walking into all these stores and stuff wearing these masks. It was only a matter of time before someplace stick up.
Elmo, if you happen to be driving down 22nd Avenue between 60th and 63rd in the Uptown area, now those guys wearing masks, they're not worried about the virus.
Right.
And then Trump today called for a $2 trillion infrastructure bill because you can get this at 0%. But I don't know. What do you think? This is kind of, we should take care of these other people before we get to.
Well, what are you going to do? Nobody's working. Who's going to, where are you going to find the construction workers to build this stuff?
Yeah.
Because really, most of the construction workers are still working.
Excellent point. Excellent point. Here's something that doesn't surprise me. The Pentagon is sitting on a ton of 2,000 ventilators, and all the states are going, where are they? And he says they're sitting here in a warehouse. Nobody told us where to send them.
Yep.
Can you believe this? Military, 2,000 ventilators are still in military stocks in an emergency management agency, and we can send them there. Just tell us where.
Your tax dollars at work.
Yeah. How can they? This is kind of that's just troubling. That's just troubling. And he said the department has been given to a location, has to be sent to them by civilian authorities. Well, the government isn't. 1,000 ventilators ready to be shipped. Just tell us where to send them. And then, today is April Fool's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the days when the Kenosha News, you remember that?
Oh, they always doctored a picture of.
I remember there was a couple of them. The one time they put a jet in the middle of Columbus Park.
Yep.
And because it was an evening newspaper, I believe, at that time. Well, geez, after that hit the houses, there was a lineup.
Cars.
Where's the?
Where's this jet? Where's this jet?
And then the time they had a monster in the harbor. Remember that?
Yeah, like Creature from the Black Lagoon or something. Okay.
7th Avenue was just jammed up with people. And they would do one a spoof every April 1st until finally, I think Mr. Brown, God love him, said, no, he realized that people reading the Kenosha News aren't able to service in the thing. So, Aaron Rodgers was on the radio today. He's coming to the end of his. He just got an extension that I think ends this next year, and he's looking for a 4-year deal. It takes him to age 42, and just like I think Brady from New England, when you get close